Do you usually carry a wallet? Yes, I certainly do. I wouldn't be able to get through the day without one. My wallet was a bit torn after being with me for donkey's years. I carry cash, ATM cards, identification, and the like in there. Have you ever lost your wallet? Yes, my bank card had to be cancelled and my ID had to be reissued. It's also a shame that I also lost a couple of photos of me and my family, which have sentimental value for me. It was a nightmare, but unfortunately, I didn't lose much money. Do you like to look at the sky? Without a doubt, I enjoy seeing a magnificent dawn or sunset whenever I get the opportunity. Mind you, I live in a city, so the sky is frequently overcast or polluted, making it difficult to catch a sight of the sun or stars. Do you know much about a star? To be honest, not a great deal. I learned about the Milky Way in school, and I even picked up the names of a few common constellations through a mobile phone app. So I learned about the Great Bear and Orion and things like that. What kinds of flowers do you like? I'm not really a flower person, but I do purchase some, for my house every now and then. And I typically opt for tulips or roses. I find that the bright colors and soft petals may create a fresh and relaxing atmosphere in the room. Are there any flowers that have special meanings in your country? That's a great question. I believe the rose is the most well-known one. A rose is typically a symbol of love and passion. So we would, present a red rose to someone to express our love for them. You may give it as to a girl you want to go out with. Okay. Do you see a lot of advertising? Without a doubt, I believe we are bombarded with advertisement left, right, center these days. I see them in my social media feeds and on website pop-ups. And to be honest, by and large, I've had them quite intrusive. Are there any kinds of advertisement that you like? Yes, certainly. Certain story-driven advertisements may be incredibly compelling. As a result, rather than focusing on product features, they concentrate on the consumer and the emotions. I believe these are more relatable and the emotional connection is quite powerful. Have you ever visited a farm before? Yes, I have, but that was a long time ago when I was still in school. We went on a field trip to a farm where the real livestock, primarily cows and sheep, and we got the chance to feed them. It was my first time on a farm, so it was a real eye-opener for me. Do you think farming is important? Absolutely, I believe it is the backbone of our economy. We wouldn't have any food if we didn't have farms. And we probably starve. According to my knowledge, it is also a significant short of employment in several countries. Do you like singing? Well, I don't listen to other people sing, but for me personally, I think I'm tone deaf. I just can't seem to hit the right notes, no matter how hard I try. I'm completely out of tune every time, without fail. Yes, I enjoy singing. This is an alternate answer. Yes, I enjoy singing while I am pottering about at home doing chores and even in the shower. But I've never performed in front of an audience. I wouldn't have the guts to do it. Do you think people will still write letters in the future? I say absolutely, because I don't think we're going to give up sending letters entirely. Many people, to my mind, believe they can convey their feelings better in a letter, and handwriting is more personal. So I believe we still be writing letters in the future. What do you think are the differences between writing with a pen and typing on a computer? Well, writing with a pen, the way I see it is more expressive because everyone has their own unique style of handwriting, which allegedly reveals a lot about them. That said, typing is faster, neater, and easier to edit because you don't have to rough things out. Do you think it's good to have a nap during the day? Yes, I believe it's a good idea to have a short nap during the day. But if you sleep for too long, you may feel groggy and tired for the rest of the day. Alternative answer: yes, having a nap is an excellent idea, otherwise, you'll be exhausted for the rest of the day. Were you encouraged to share as a child? Yes, both my mother and father encouraged me to share my toys and even meals with my friends because they believed it was a family value I should learn as a child. Is math important? Yes, I believe it is essential in today's world. For example, if you go shopping and want a correct change, you must know addition and subtraction. Alternative answer: yes, I believe math is pretty necessary nowadays, but because everyone has a cell phone, I'm not sure we need to know addition and subtraction. We can simply use a calculator on our phones. We ever drink bottled water? I suppose I do occasionally drink bottled water, such in a restaurant. But at home, I mostly drink tap water since I trust it and it's truly the same. What if some people throw rubbish on the ground? I think if someone lives in a city, I believe they are simply lazy. If they grew up in the countryside, I believe they are simply unaware that their actions may harm the environment. Alternative answer: some individuals, I believe, simply don't care because they think that one person doesn't make a difference. At the same time, some people, particularly young children, may be unaware that it is harmful to the environment. Would you spend a lot of money on a perfume? So it really depends. If I were purchasing it for myself, I don't believe I spend too much. If I were buying it as a gift for someone, and yeah, I fork out a little extra. Do you sometimes go to bed late? Yes, I do tend to stay up late to the wee hours of the morning. I just like the calm and quiet when everyone else has gone to bed. It's an excellent time to get things done. Alternative answer: yes, every now and then, but on the whole, I hit the sack early. I'm normally an early riser since I'm much more productive in the mornings. Yes, I do tend to stay up late into the wee hours of the morning. I just like the calm and quiet when everyone else had gone to bed. It's an excellent time to do tasks. How do you feel when you stay up late the night before? Well, if I stay up late and have to work the next day, I generally feel weary and sluggish. I normally feel out of sorts if I don't get at least 8 hours of sleep. Alternative answer: to be honest, I'm basically okay since I'm accustomed to it. I don't feel weary or drowsy as long as I get about 7 hours of sleep. I just have a big cup of coffee first thing in the morning and I'm good to go. You prefer a long break or several short breaks? In general, I like several short breaks, mostly because I have a short attention span. But I also believe that taking more regular breaks is far more productive. Having said that, I enjoy a long lunch break. When was the last time you laughed? That's difficult to say. I believe it was probably last week. I was watching a movie that made me laugh out loud. It was a comedy starring Mr. Bean called The Holidays, if I recall properly. It was one of the flicks with a lot of visual humor, wasn't it? And that really cracked me up. Do you like making people laugh? I believe I have an excellent sense of humor. I love having a good laugh with my buddies. I'm not very fond of cracking jokes, but I enjoy playing with words, so throughout conversations, I often think about other meanings of words and then make a joke about them. Do you like history? I wouldn't call myself a history buff. but I do love watching historical films or period plays on TV. It fascinates me to observe people's customs and lifestyles in past times. For example, I used to enjoy watching Vikings, and it showed how different society was back then. Did you enjoy learning about history when you were a child? To be honest, not a lot. It was mostly facts and figures that I couldn't recall very well. As a result, little big it was a little tedious. It wasn't until I left school and began traveling that I got a taste of history. Have you ever seen wild animals before? I haven't seen lion. I have seen lions and elephants in the zoo, but I've never seen those types of creatures in the wild. As a kid growing up, I saw a lot of foxes. Since there were a lot of them near the woodlands where I used to live. Do you like to go to the zoo? Both yes and no. On the one hand, zoos. Both yes and no. On the one hand, zoo are enjoyable. It is fascinating to clone. Do you like to go to the zoo? Both yes and no. On the one hand, zoos are enjoyable, and it's fantastic to get up close and personal with gorgeous creatures like the lions. On the other hand, many zoos' cages are too cramped, and many animals' living conditions leave a lot to be desired. Why do people in your country wear jeans? Oh, I say in large part because celebrity and major clothing designers have made them so fashionable. Take for example CK, who has developed an image of a young person wearing jeans as being hip and seductive, an image that many young people try to emulate. Do people in your country wear jeans? I say in large part because celebrities and major clothing designers have made them so fashionable. Take for example CK, who has developed an image of a young person wearing jeans as being hip and seductive, an image that many young people try to emulate. How would you describe your voice? That's a tough question. I think I characterize it as low-pitched and slightly rough. Some people claim I have a radio voice and they say it's pretty clear. Mind you, I think I'm pretty soft spoken, so it's possible that my voice isn't the greatest for the radio. You ever record your voice? It's funny you should ask, considering I've just lately begun recording my voice. My English teacher suggested it as a technique to improve my speaking skills. So I used a mobile phone app to record some sentences and then compare my pronunciation to that of a native speaker. What helps you concentrate? Quiet and peace. If there's a lot of background noise going on, even if it's not very loud, it distracts me and makes it difficult for me to focus on whatever I'm doing. So while I'm reading or studying, for example, I insist on silence.